to it and shoot for the sky.
I'm just going to start this up. So, welcome to the Ring Post Daily Podcast. You're listening to myself, Jesse Henrik, no longer the Ring General. That title is now up for grabs in what I believe is SuperCard 17, I believe is what it is. Yeah, 17. And I'm joined today by Mr. Fantastic, Joey Hudson, Mr. RPD, Tyreek Ramsey, and for the first time officially as a podcast member, the Dark Horse, Austin Cochran. And yes, that is your nickname because you're given nicknames on this show. So, two things today, as I've already told you guys, but I'll just reiterate. So, we are predicting AEW All Out. So far, we have technically 8 matches, but we're going to be predicting 7 tonight. And then the ones that they will add before the show, unless it's like the day of, like the ones they add tomorrow or whatever, I'll just do over chat with you guys. So this is not the whole predictions that we're doing. This is just what we have available to us right now. But we're going to be doing those. And then we're also going to be talking about the state of our world champions right now, both the men's and women's sides. We're going to be doing that for WWE, NXT, AEW, ROH, and the redhead stepchild, TNA. Do we have any questions? And no offense to Austin with the redhead stepchild comment.
You know, I almost took it personally until you said that, but we're cool.
You gotta approach that subject very gingerly.
Nice.
Joey's video is frozen. Oh, there it goes. Now it's fixed.
Shouldn't be. I'm moving.
Yeah, it's fixed now. Okay, so do we want to do? We don't want to do predictions first. Just get them out of the way.
Yes, we do predictions.
All right. So then we're gonna do the same thing we did last time. We're gonna go in the order that you guys are on my screen. So we're gonna go Joey, Austin, Tyreek, and just as a reminder of the situation that we're in as far as points go. After the last event, we have Austin sitting at 4 points. We have Joey sitting at 8 points. And we have Ty sitting at 5. Back-to-back stinkers for Ty.
Well, it's okay. Okay, it'll work out.
Dude, that NXT pay-per-view couldn't have gone any better way for me. I mean, even
really
though
could
I
have.
was one match off.
Yeah, but the one match you
really
lost,
could.
everybody
Yeah.
lost.
And I'm fine with that because that's still it doesn't affect me any type of match. But I got like a 90, like a 98 or 95 on this. That's still like the first ever A I've actually gotten.
Yeah, so you've definitely got yourself set up, for success, but it's how you follow through. Because as we know, AEW can swerve us, and then TNA definitely can swerve you with their wacky booking. So it's all with the follow.
But I'm fine with that because people like Ty, and then they gotta crawl to get back to where I'm at. Super picks are out of the way.
Yeah, I was about to say,
we
and
got
super
wild
picks are
cards.
out. So,
but God dang, thank Jesus, because those super picks every different card. That's what screwed me. That's what's really creeped up behind me, and just effing from behind. That's out of the way. I don't have to worry about that.
right. Well, let's get right into it. So, first on the docket, we got Will Ospreay versus Pac for the AEW International Championship. Straight up singles match. So, Joey, who are you going with first?
Ospreay.
Any reason behind it?
He just won it from MJF. He's not losing that quick. And if he does, why?
That's valid. Austin.
For just about the exact same reasons that Joey just stated, I'd be going with Ospreay as well.
Fair enough. I think it's a solid pick. Tyreek, any condescending opinion?
Nah, I'm going with the Willie Bruv, just because, it's, well, same reason you guys said, but also, even if, I don't know, I just feel like even if the belt wasn't on the line or he didn't just win it or anything like that, still would see Ospreay coming in the winner, at least if they had their first match, I'd see him coming away the winner, so.
I think we're definitely looking at a world where we're going to get to the Ospreay Ricochet match. And so this is just kind of a pit stop on the way there to kind of like edge us forward. So I think you guys are pretty solid there. Next up.
But it is AEW, so they could always screw it up.
I mean, that is a possibility. We got the Young Bucks versus Blackpool Combat Club, which is, in this case, Wheeler Yuta and Claudio Castagnoli for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. It's just a straight-up tag team match. So, Joey, who you got?
The old Bucks.
The old Bucks?
Yeah, they ain't that young no more.
Dude.
But right now they're on like a high right now, and
Debatable.
I feel like, if anything, and I feel like right now if they're gonna lose the titles, it needs to be like, okay, like the Combat Club. They've done just about everything. Everybody's still gonna like them at the end of the match, win, lose, or draw. They need to save that loss for like an up and coming tag team that can run with it, and not just lose it like to Jericho, Big Bill, or this team here. Like they need to lose it to like maybe a kind of like a Ricochet situation where where a tag team comes into AEW and it's like, yeah, right, they're not going to beat the Young Bucks, and they do, and they run with it. That's what they need to do.
That's
so
the
I'm
problem
going with the old Bucks.
Who is the hot young tag team in AEW? Because I can't think of one. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
they need to save it for someone to come in and take.
Yeah,
it.
I don't think that team exists.
Nick Wayne and
debatable. Anyways,
the only team I'd like to see him lose to, and they're not even a team right now, is if somehow like Edge and Christian got together for one night, and they're like, well, we're not going to win these titles because we can't get along. And then for some odd reason, Edge and Christian, maybe they do like what Team Hell No did, where Christian or Edge falls off the rope and lands on them in 1, 2, 3, and somehow by accident, Edge and Christian in their 50s or damn near close to 60s somehow become tag team champions once again.
You bring up Team Hell No just wants me to have Nick Wayne and Luchasaurus be champs even more. Because I think that dynamic would be really fun, where they're like, every week they're sitting there vying for Daddy's love. But
yeah, like they hate each other. They hate to get back to their tag team champions together, but they have to keep like this reign alive because they both like being champion. Like they can have fun with it. I know that's probably not going to happen, but that's what I would do because I think the fans would like to see it.
Anyways, Austin, who you got in this match?
Man, that's a good question. I know you and I talked earlier, and I told you that I'm still kind of trying to get caught completely up to speed on a lot of what's going on in the world of wrestling right now.
Right.
So admittedly, I'm not too educated and brought up to speed on the tag team division over there. So
there isn't a lot of one to begin with, so you're not missing much.
So, man, I know this probably makes absolutely no sense at all, but man, I'm gonna say the Young Bucks just because I like that name.
Okay, hey, that works.
And just to show you how hot of a team the Young Bucks are, I was at Walmart a week ago, and they had Matt and Nick Jackson action figures on sale for $6. So that should tell you, yeah, the $6.
The $6.
Were they EVP figures?
Do what?
Were they EVP figures, like them in the suits and everything, or were just?
No, they were just like doing like their taunt and shit.
Oh.
But I mean, they were cool looking figures. But I mean, it just shows you like, hey, these Young Bucks are worth about $6.
It's funny, Austin, how you brought up you just like their name. That's honestly how I predict every NJPW match. Is just what name do you think? Do I think? Because I don't know a lot about a lot of NJPW wrestlers. So it's like that's just how I do it, and it's served me well. So who knows? You might get it. Ty, How are you feeling?
I'm still going with the Bucks, man. I still don't like them. I like Matt more.
I think they need to lose
I still
it.
don't like. Yeah, but right now, I don't know. I just don't. I don't think they will. It's like I one of those things where because I don't like them, I don't care. If they lose, I won't be mad, but it's like I don't see them losing though.
Yeah, I mean, there's two reasons why I want them to lose it. Is A, AEW only has a set amount of dates with them. So that's why they're not on TV every week. It's not that they don't want to be there. It's like they're contractually obligated to be there only for a certain amount of dates. Otherwise, TK has to pay them more. On top of that, they're getting stale. They really are. And I want to see new life in this tag division. And it's weird because all the tag teams seem to be on ROH. So I think they need to do some restructuring.
I remember the first time I saw the Young Bucks was like, I mean, this was like probably like close to 20 years ago in TNA, where they were known as Generation Me or something.
I love Generation
and
Me.
I turned on TNA and I saw them for the first time, and I was not impressed. And it's nothing against them, but I was just like, who the hell are these Hardy Boy, this Wish version of Hardy Boys? Like, I was not impressed by them when I first saw them, and I've not been impressed by them in AEW. And like everybody could say like, come on, dude, like you're not being fair. I think I'm being like, you know, if anything, I think I'm being a little too fair. I'm not impressed by them. I couldn't see them go. I mean, the only way I could see them going to WWE and making it is they went to NXT first. If you threw these guys right into the main roster in WWE, yeah, that's where the Sharks would eat them alive. They would expose the Young Bucks. So, and I just think I just think AEW right now is a perfect spot for them.
Okay, so getting back
Pretty
to
much didn't miss nothing.
Getting back to it, we got an interesting situation because we have a CMLL title on the line here with Willow Nightingale versus Chris Statlander in a Chicago street fight. So it's weird
According
because
to Wikipedia, it doesn't say a title match.
I was gonna say on Wikipedia it doesn't say it's for the title, but I've heard it is. So I'm not sure if it is or not, but we're gonna assume it is. That being said, it's strange that it's a CMLL title and it's not like a Forbidden Door pay-per-view or anything. But whatever. So, and even if they were to lose it, it wouldn't be the end of the feud. So, Joey Hudson, what do you think about Nightingale versus Statlander here? In a Chicago street fight. Do you think
Statlander. Now, okay. I could just cop it. I could make a cop out and say Chicago fans win because it'd be a good match. But since I had to pick one of the competitors, I'll go with Statlander.
That's fair.
I just like her, and plus I feel like, I don't know, like I think Statlander's more of an AEW wrestler than Willow is. I think she like wrestles more places.
She does.
So I feel like it would make more sense to make more of the AEW homegirl, so to speak, win, knowing that this girl's like gonna go other places and probably have future victories. But if she's not gonna be around AEW all that much compared to Statlander, then I think it's only fair to give the win to Statlander.
Fair. Austin.
Man, this is another one where I'm kind of shooting from the hip. So
are you familiar with the wrestlers?
In this one, not super. I know a little bit more. I've heard more of Statlander than I have the other. So,
okay,
for familiarity's sake alone, I think that'd be my pick.
Okay. And Ty, I know Willow's your girl. Do you see her pulling the win out here?
I'd say Chris is more my girl than Willow is, to be honest. Because I just
really? I've seen you stand over Willow.
Well, I
support the culture.
I've predicted that she's gonna win and everything, but also low-key, just like deep down as it's gone on, I've just been waiting just to get that like win, and I think she did once. I can't remember, but I'm just saying, like, I felt like the past, whether I chose Willow or chose Chris in either of the past matches, I was always just waiting for Chris to actually win, and I think one of those I was wrong, and the other one I was right because I chose Willow. So
Yeah, I think this is the rubber match between them for singles matches.
Oh, okay. Ooh, that Chris. Then yeah, Chris. 'Cause, you know, whether I don't know, she's the heel, she cheats to win or whatever, then fine, go Chris. That.
Well, she will have Stokely Hathaway in her corner, so
yeah. Man, we are in agreement, holding hands across the board here for the last 3 matches, boys. Ty, you're gonna have to find some points somewhere.
Hell yeah, you are, bro.
And I think
these matches don't affect me win or loss, so I love it. We'll keep agreeing, y'all.
And I think this is a situation where we could find some points because we have MJF versus Daniel Garcia in a singles match.
Ooh.
Yeah. So first off, let's go with the Joey.
I'm gonna say MJF. Yeah, he screwed me last time, but he lost the title. He's got to make a comeback, and Garcia got what he wanted. He cost the title, and if he wins, it's pretty much like all Daniel Garcia from this point. MJF has to get the upper hand at some point to keep this feud alive, because this ain't gonna just end here. It's gonna go on till Wrestle Dream or something else, you know. There's going to be a high payoff. But Garcia costing the title. Garcia is going to pay for it here. And at some point, we're going to see an even bigger of a banger of a match from these two. So I think MJF is going to get a little bit of revenge from the last pay-per-view.
I hear what you're saying, but I got to be honest. I got to interject my own opinion here. I think this is a one and done. I think it's going to be Garcia. MJF's going to go home for a couple more months and just kind of heal up. And I think he's going to make us miss him again. I honestly think that's the play here.
Daniel Garcia just returned, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go with Garcia. That makes more sense.
No. You already said MJF. You're sticking with MJF.
Oh,
your turn's...
Technically, you and me.
No, your turn's over. I started talking.
We were still conversating about it.
No, because we did that to Ty last time. I moved on.
Last time we talked to Ty about it, you asked him if that was his final answer, and I'm not even getting asked that. Cheater, pumpkin eater.
No, we're not.
It's like how you gave me freaking Andre Chase at the fucking draft. Like you're always out to screw me. Like this is like where the Joey Hudson screw job just happens over again.
You said it. You said it full breath, full chest. You're like, no, I got MJF, and then I offer a condescending opinion. You're like, oh, maybe not. No, you go with your
That's
MJF.
what you're trying to do. You're trying to swerve the votes, and you swerved me, and now you're trying. You do this all the time. You try to get people to change their votes, and the one time I would trust you and believe you, and I take your side, and you're like, no, never mind, don't do it. You hypocrite. But I'll take it. I'll take MJF though.
Austin, who do you got in this?
Man, in this, I'd like to see MJF come out on top. So he's got my pick.
Okay. And Ty.
I knew.
Are you going to stand with the rest of them?
No, because I knew on Wednesday that Daniel Garcia was going to win. Like I was just like waiting for the big. Like it is close. I can see it going either way. I will say that. Literally see it either way, but I just think the way to get to a second match is like, yeah, Danny gets the win, and then MJF can deal with the freaking loss. Like he's gonna.
What's with all these second matches? Who says they need a second match?
Didn't Garcia like knock out MJF in the middle of the ring last Dynamite or something?
Yeah,
I guess you're right, Jesse. This is already well.
Because MJF's walking around like he's hurt and shit right now because of the Tiger Driver.
Yeah, but
we're talking about MJF, the dirtiest heel in the game since Ric Flair.
But also, I'm just like, you know, it's gotten so personal now, especially what happened on this last Dynamite. That I'm sitting there thinking, like, why wouldn't they keep going with it? So that's what I'm saying.
So you're thinking who?
Daniel Garcia, yeah, for sure. And even if it ends here, I probably would choose Daniel Garcia.
Okay. Fair. That's what I think's gonna happen. I think it's just gonna end. I think he's gonna go away for a few months, and then he might come back and beat up Garcia when Garcia gets a big opportunity or something. But I think it ends for right now here.
Okay, but before we finish that conversation, how long was? I mean, I know he wasn't gone as long, but MJF when he was out to do that whole Adam Cole crap. I know when Randy Orton's back got injured, he was gone like 18 months. Now, MJF wasn't gone no 18 months, but Jesus Christ, it felt like it.
Yeah, I mean, it did.
And I think MJF has taken enough time. He just signed a contract like this in this past year. He stayed with AEW. It's time to get back out there and earn some stripes on that scarf, so to speak. Because if he just goes home for like 12 months, comes back, wrestles a couple matches, and then goes back home, that's going to kind of like make MJF fans be like, okay, this is boring. I'm wanting to see him at shows and stuff. I'm not paying to see MJF take time off more than ever.
I hear what you're saying, but now I want you to switch the names of AEW with WWE, and I want you to switch the name of MJF with Brock Lesnar and tell me the same thing happened. Because that's
Brock
not how...
Lesnar has deserved that.
Yeah, but so does MJF. MJF is an attract.
No,
listen to me.
No.
Whenever MJF is on AEW, no, I'm not saying he is, but whenever MJF is on AEW TV or on a pay-per-view, he does big numbers. So he's a special attraction for them. So they don't want to overexpose him. So I think that's why we see it go down this way. But I just wanted to put that in your head. Just think about it a little. Anyways, next up, Mercedes Moné versus Hikaru Shida in what should have been a Rampage match, but it's going to be on the pay-per-view. Singles match for the AEW TBS Championship. Camille is barred from ringside. I have two thoughts about this match. Yeah, I know that. I just said it. I have two thoughts about this match. Number one, the fact that she's barred from ringside means Camille's going to get involved. Number two, we already seen this match on freaking Collision, and let's be honest, the last 3 Monet matches have not been good. I don't need to see a repeat, but here we are. So, Joey, who do you think's gonna win?
Okay, this is where I gotta go with the person I can't stand, but I'm gonna go with Mercedes. I still call her Sasha Banks, but I can't go. I have to go with her because it's pretty obvious she's going to keep her title. She's a double champion. She's going to keep her title, but I can't stand her. She thinks she's the hottest shit since sliced bread. She's really not. She thinks she's the best wrestler since Bret Hart. I mean, if you put her in the ring with Andre the Giant, she'd be like, oh, I could slam him twice more than Hogan did. I mean, she thinks she's so good, and really it's like, dude, you're crap. I hate to say it, but I mean, maybe you're not terrible, but you're not as good as you think you are. I get it's all ego, and now that I hear she's coming out with a rap album, yeah, that's probably the day I shut off my music streaming and take a break from music for a while. But in this match, she's got the victory in the hat.
I see where you're coming from here. Austin, I can see your set.
I'd rather see a blind hornswoggle tied with his hands tied behind his back win title than her.
I can see that. Austin, I can see the soul. I can see the soul leaving your body just thinking about this match. You don't seem enthused.
Well,
he's like, what the hell are you guys up into?
So, actually, so I didn't really have a lot of interest in it, but I think I kind of do now, especially after hearing just how fired up Joey got. Yeah, and so,
I created a vibe here.
Absolutely, yeah, for sure. I'd say she's my pick, and I'm absolutely going to be blasting that rap album when it comes out. So,
really?
Yeah.
Well, it comes out in December apparently, so ho ho ho.
Oh, I'll be jamming. Don't worry about it.
The coolest thing, the only thing I liked about her was her when she arrived in New Japan.
That was the one good match she had.
Her song was not even her match. Her song was a banger. Like, I was on YouTube listening to it. Then she comes to AEW and doesn't have that theme anymore, and now she's like got this whole I'm hot as shit ego going on. I can't stand it, bruh. It's kind of hard for me because I got to pick the wrestler I don't want to win here.
See, when she showed up at Wrestle Kingdom 27, Ty and I were there. We weren't there, but we watched that shit live, and it was like the most hype shit ever. And like she had an awesome angle going in. She goes and she has the match at Battle in the Valley, which we didn't predict, which I wish we did because it was actually a really good like pay-per-view. But she goes and she has this awesome match, and then she gets hurt. And then ever since then, she just has not delivered. So I don't know if it's just I don't like seeing her in a national brand. I prefer to see her as an attraction for like, you know, NJPW, or like I said, she should have gone to CMLL because she would have been huge there, and she would have gave us a reason to watch CMLL. But
well, like, what the hell happened? She was one of the original four horsewomen in NXT, and she killed it. She went to the main roster and made history, and now it's just like, you know, she's fallen a long ways from what she used to be. And to be honest, she's kind of that wrestler that gets a shirt sold at Hot Topic, and it's the hottest thing, and then a week later it's like on sale for like $2. Like, that's what she is. She's a
that's a wonderful description of Sasha Banks. Or sorry, Mercedes Moné. Anyways, Ty, what's your opinions here? Why don't you bring some cheeriness and joy to this?
I'm just
some optimism.
I just like took a shit all over her.
Last little thing about, you know, the ad stuff.
Because you got a Sasha Banks t-shirt, so I know you're a fan.
I am, but I also can stand the pumped in CEO chants in her theme song. Like I can't stand it. It's like it's not my thing. Yeah, it's just let the crowd start doing that on their own. Don't like have the pumped in chant. Anyway, yeah, gonna win, man, and she's definitely polarizing. So I think because of that, why she keeps winning. And
the shitty part of it is, man, is I see what they're doing.
The way he's trying to hype her up.
I see what they're doing. They're going for the Shawn Michaels Diesel thing. Like that's obviously the way they're going with it. But I just don't care. Like Camille is not a compelling character in this scenario. Like she doesn't get to talk, which like, Diesel didn't, to be fair. But she's not as interesting as Diesel was.
I want to point out to all the people that watch this, by the way, when you hear Tyreek sitting here trying to, you know, spread some power, positivity on Mercedes, if you look at his face and his mannerisms, he's not enjoying this. Like, he's really digging at the bottom of the barrel to give her any type of, you know, positivity here. But, like, even he's like, well, I think, well, no, maybe that would work. Like, he's sitting here digging the bottom of the barrel for her. Like, I think it's all agreed upon that she's lost her way a bit.
Right.
You're already told the story.
All right, so we got to move on. This is quite possibly the most contentious match on the whole card. I think it's going to divide you guys quite a bit. Bryan Danielson versus Jack Perry. Who you guys got for the AEW World Championship?
I think this is another match we're all agreeing upon, because there's no goddamn way Jack Perry is defeating Daniel Bryan, or Bryan Danielson, whatever you want to call the guy. DB's what he is to me.
Jungle Boy is not going to be double champ of the company. Not.
No.
Jungle Boy,
although I do want to throw something out into ether there, because there is something interesting about this match. So, and this is from kind of like the backroom scuttlebutt of everything, like just rumors and conjecture. But apparently scuttlebutt. Apparently when Bryan Danielson agreed to do this whole world championship run with TK, because he didn't want to be champ. But when he agreed to do this, he said, I want agency over who my matches are against. So he's essentially picking all of his title defenses up until he loses it, because he said once he loses it, he's done. But this is the one match where AEW stepped in, and presumably Tony Khan stepped in and said, I want you to face this guy. So that's just something to kind of mull over in the brain, that they have a lot of faith in Jack Perry.
Oh,
And historically they have.
So I'm gonna tell you the reason I'm going with Daniel Bryan here, Bryan Danielson, my bad. The reason I'm going with him, and trust me, I'm over him too. I've been over him since 2013, and the whole yes thing was huge. I've been over him since then. I'm done with it. But he just won the title. Yeah, I've been done with Daniel Bryan since 2013, bro. Like that stuff got as old as dirt. But Daniel Bryan just winning the title, and his career, as he speaks of it, is coming to an end like sooner rather than later. Yeah, he's gonna have one hell of a title reign. He's gonna go out there and beat just about anyone you put in front of him.
Yeah, he's doing the Mickey James last rodeo.
If the first person you're gonna put in front of him is Jack Stinkin' Perry, who, yeah, he's finally finding his footing. He's finally becoming a character that we can all invest in. And it might not be a good one, might not be a baby face, but I can honestly say, yeah, I don't like Jack Perry. And I can say, well, not just because I don't care for him, but I don't like him because he's a heel. He's doing a damn good job as a heel, and he gives me a reason why not to like him. But I'm telling you right now, they're not going to take a title off Daniel Bryan, not even a month later, not even 30 days later after he won it.
It's a 2-week build.
And give it to Jack Stinkin' Perry to go home and spray paint and dirty it up again. No.
Although, I just want to point out, AEW.
That's cool. That's what he's worth. This will be his biggest moment yet, and probably his biggest moment ever. But
I just want to point this out, Joey.
Skinny Jack Perry, skinny body Jack Perry's not beating Daniel Bryan.
It's okay. Settle down. I'll give you some pets or something so you could chill. But just pointing this out, AEW does have a history of spray painting their world titles. Let's all remember the ill-fated summer of 2023.
Dude, I know, like in WWE, we've seen spinner belts and smoking skull belts, but they made them special. AEW literally redoes their titles like every month, and it's getting old as dirt. And I'm telling you right now, Jack Perry, like, I'm not judging him on his body size. You know, I'm a fat guy, I get it. But Jack Perry would be the guy who carries Eddie Wade's bags. That's who he is.
All right. Speaking of Eddie
Wade,
we want to congratulate Eddie Wade. Chill out, boys. Let me say my shtick. This is my show, damn it. I just want to say congratulations once again to our new RPD Prophecy champion. Eddie Wade broke the streak of Tyreek Ramsey after his 200-plus day history-making reign. We want to send a shout-out to Mr. Eddie Wade, who is currently enjoying his title celebration in Tahiti. He might be back next week. He might not. We don't know, but we just got to wait for him to get on island time, get some island service, and we'll find out if he's going to be back next week or not. But even if he is, he's the champ. What are we going to do? He might just run and take our championship to another company like TSW.
And I'll support the dude. I'm his manager. Woo!
He is not taking my title anywhere.
He's taking it down.
Anyway.
He's walking it down. He's taking it down the TSW rampway into the actual ring. I mean, he's gonna give that title some exposure, bro. He's gonna do more for that title than Jack Perry's doing with the TNT title. Let's just say that.
Do it twice until I take it back. Do it twice. That's it.
Joey, you're just happy that this is. You're just happy that this is some exposure that you can be a part of that's not in front of a school.
God. A school? Why? Why a school? Yeah, that went over my head.
Just fucking with you, Joey. Anyways, back on topic.
I didn't get it at all.
It'll come.
Where like I can't be even 500
It's good that you didn't get it. I'm glad you didn't get it. That means you're more pure than all of us.
Yeah, it's almost funnier.
That's just me, kind-hearted, spirited.
Shut up and smoke your cancer stick. Anyways, Austin, who do you got? Bryan Danielson versus Jack Perry.
I got a bait too, by the way.
I've got Bryan Danielson. A lot of what Joey said, I kind of agree with. I don't see him losing it this quickly, and to Jack Perry of all people. So for that reason, I got to go Bryan Danielson.
Totally. CM Punk, I'd punch him too.
And then Tyreek, do you have a condescending opinion?
Oh, shit.
I mean, it's Bryan Danielson. It's like, you wouldn't. I don't care who he'd go against at this pay-per-view. He just want it, and he would beat them. He would. He'd find a way. So I'm honestly
surprised. I'm honestly surprised that this wasn't the Christian defense, because I thought that's where we were going. Because like Christian's like an easy, and like Christian's an easy defense that you can just get out of the way. He's a credible opponent, but it doesn't matter if he loses. Like, it makes sense, because right now there's three different number one contenders for the world championship. There's Christian Cage, who has the contract. There's Jack Perry, who has got this match. And then there's Darby Allin, who has a match at Arthur Ashe. So, it's just
what?
At the Arthur Ashe Stadium show they got coming up.
Oh.
So, yeah, it's a weird situation for AEW to have so many contenders, and like they just throw Jack Perry in.
Well, when you have three number one contenders, they're not number one contenders. You're number one, you're number two, you're number three.
Right.
But here's the thing. When it comes to any title match, especially the world title, like Ty said, no one you put in front of Daniel Bryan right now is going to take it off.
Right.
But you want it to be believable. You want that to be like, oh, could this guy end the possibly short reign of Daniel Bryan? This is a match that when you pay to go to this event and that comes up to Bryan versus Perry, you know from the entrance to the ending who's walking out champ.
Here's my
wins by DQ. You're not walking out champ, bud. So do your worst. Do what you can to Daniel Bryan, but it's just you're supposed to make these matches believable, and this is one of them that's just not got that believability to it.
See, if I can do a little bit of like far seeing here, here's how I see how it goes. I think we see Bryan Danielson go through this whole, his championship run. He picks all his opponents. They're all bangers, what have you. I think we see Garcia send MJF packing for a couple months. Then I think we see Darby Allin win the title off of Bryan in Washington at that big Wrestle Dream show. And then we have MJF come back and he goes against his Four Pillars mate in Darby Allin, and then that's your next world title program. That's how I see it.
This is equivalent to Cody Rhodes defeating the legendary streak of Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, and then the next month putting on the line against James Ellsworth. That's exactly what this is like. If you did that to me, I'd be like, get that match out of my face, go back to the drawing board, and write me something like I can enjoy. That is exactly what this is equivalent to.
All right. Well, anyways,
Jack Perry's AEW is James Ellsworth.
Last match that we have to predict, so to speak, is Swerve Strickland with Prince Nana versus, and actually, in all honesty, it shouldn't be with Prince Nana. It should just be Swerve Strickland versus Hangman Adam Page in an unsanctioned, lights out, steel cage match. That's 3 stipulations.
I've never heard of this type of match. What are you going to do, wrestle in the dark and the lights come on?
So no. What essentially it's saying is it's a unsanctioned match. So they're saying AEW has no bearing over what these two do to each other. It's in a steel cage, and it's going to close out the show.
But what's lights out mean? Like, what does that
mean? That's what lights out means.
Match, literally?
No. Lights out means that it's going to close the show, and like even after the show is like technically off the air, it's going to keep going. So.
It sounds like a cage match where it's like pitch black dark.
No,
and
it's
you
not a
have 20 minutes
WWE
to find
pitch
the
black
exit,
match.
And the lights come on. Whoever's out first will win.
No,
I will
but
say
basically,
that title is a little misleading.
yeah. It is a little misleading.
I want lights
Just
on,
trust
damn it. I
me,
wanna
it's
see
gonna
this
be
match.
okay. It's gonna be okay.
What about what about the people who's scared of the dark? You know, what about the people in the arena who's scared of the dark? They're gonna have a really hard time accepting this match.
Well, I know you're going to, so why don't we ask you what your prediction is, Joey? Because this one truly could be 50-50.
The fact that
Because Hangman needs the win.
Strick's house.
Exactly. Hangman needs the win. But he
I'm
also
gonna go with Hangman.
Swerve just got his house burned down.
I know. I was at work and like I see, Strickland just bought his house.
I know. I reported it.
4 hours later, I get back on Facebook and Hangman's burned it down.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, what the hell happened?
And you know what's even crazier too? For the last 3 months since he came back, Hangman has had a burning house as part of his Titantron. He's been telling us he was going to do this for over 90 days. That's some freaking foreshadowing right there.
No pun intended, but what if there's a big swerve to this and it really wasn't Adam Page who burned it down? What if it was really Swerve Strickland left the pizza in the oven and forgot about it?
He was in pictures in front of it.
Maybe Swerve left the pizza in the oven and it burnt down and Page was just there. It was like, I'll take credit for it. Sure, I'll look like a badass heel. But really, Swerve was like, damn, I knew I left something on.
You're a fucking moron.
It's on a 4K camera.
Austin, save us.
Oh, God, now we're going to see
Who's got this
rise
match?
from the ashes. Kane did it. It's going to be Kane.
Save us from Joey's nonsensical rant here.
It's Paige.
I will do my best.
It's gonna be Paige.
I'd actually like to see Swerve get the win on this one, so that's where I'm going to cast my vote.
All right. You think he's gonna get a little bit of retribution for the house?
I'd hope so. I know I'd want some.
Okay.
Earn my damn house now.
I mean, at least
in the head of Swerve.
At least Hangman didn't cut a promo on his kid. No, he just burns down the fucking house. That really makes you look like the good guy, Adam.
It probably wouldn't have burned down. It probably wouldn't have burned down if it was a brick house.
Well, she's part of Monet's cabinet right now. You don't have brick house.
It's a brick house.
Ty, who do you got here? I know these are two of your favorites. This is a 50-50 feud. This has got to be so hard for you.
It is. It's tough to... Yeah, it's just tough. But in the end, Swerve is winning. At first, I was kind of... Yes, just... After this feud has gone on for so long, I've just... When Hangman said, "You're not on my level, you ain't beat me for real," it's true that those other times it got involved. Now they're enclosed, and that second or third match, whatever one it was, where the time ran out, Swerve had him beat right there. Just the time ran out. So I'm just they're enclosed. I think just at the end of the day, AEW is all I don't know. I think Hangman
got Swerve.
They'll keep going, but especially after he burned his house down or built his childhood home down.
Okay.
Swerve.
Well,
could you imagine buying your dream house and then 4 hours later it's burned down? Jesus Christ! Talk about a bad day.
I
want to throw this out here.
What?
I just want to throw something out there. And since you guys are all happy with your picks, right?
Yeah.
Oh, now you ask. Now you ask.
Well, because I don't want you to bitch that I don't ask. So I'm asking.
I think I've done enough bitching about that one day because earlier on I tried to change my answer. And
well, then we're gonna keep these answers like this. But I just want to throw something out here for you guys. A little statistic for you. Swerve and Hangman are 3-0. So if Swerve were to win this, that would make him 4-0. So I definitely think
when that clock ran out.
What do you mean?
Didn't have a match where the time was just up and it was the number one.
They had their. Yeah, that was one of them, but they didn't allow him the extra time, so Swerve retained.
So Swerve didn't retain? He wasn't champ.
So that would actually make them 4-0 if you're counting that match. But what I'm talking about is they had their Full Gear match, they had their Wrestle Dream match, and then they had the World's End match.
They bought it.
Triple threat with Joe. The triple threat with Joe.
Ooh, that's where I see it going. I see Paige winning again, and then Wrestle Dream will get Strickland, him, Wrestle Dream 2 maybe. That's where Strickland will come out on top. That's where he'll get his big victory.
Technically, Ty.
He's just in the head.
So technically, Ty, if you want to add in the time limit draw, then they're 4-0. Or Swerve is up 4 to Hangman 0.
Yeah, well, Swerve has only technically beaten him twice because the third match was at Revolution. Yeah, he's only beaten him,
but we're getting off topic here. I just wanted to point that out. I think Hangman's taken this, and if you want my opinion of how it should go after this, I think Hangman wins this. And then Swerve needs to come back, and he's like, no, I need retribution for this. I want to drag your ass to hell. And I think the AEW does their first Hell in a Cell with these two. I think that would be really fucking cool.
Or at least an Inferno match because of the fire.
They should do an Inferno match.
That's cowboy.
So,
plus you gotta think too. After burning down his house, Paige has to be. You burn down anyone's house, you're gonna be inside their head. That's all. They're gonna be sleepless. They're not gonna eat, sleep, or drink or nothing. I mean, if there's a time where Paige can get the upper hand on Swerve, this is the time. You just burnt down the dude's house that he just bought. But the whole point. But the fact is like you're in his head. This is where you get the victory. And this is where him and Paige can say, like, oh, well, maybe on a normal day, you're right. Maybe on a normal day, I couldn't beat you. But this ain't a normal day. You were so distraught and worked up that I cost you the victory. So, yeah.
Anyways, to go over these 7 matches, there are only 2 differences. And that's in the MJF versus Daniel Garcia. Ty's got Garcia. Joey and Austin, you got MJF. And then Swerve Strickland versus Adam Page. Ty's got Swerve. Austin has Swerve. Joey, you're going Hangman.
Are you sure? There's not another difference?
No, there's not. Everybody went Danielson. Everybody went Statlander. Everybody went Monet. Everybody went Bucks. And everybody went Ospreay.
Yep. Wild cards.
Yeah, I was about to say, now we're going to move into wild cards. So, Ty, I'm going to let you go first.
Okay. My wild card is that sometime throughout the show, we will hear CM Punk chants.
That's your honest wild card? Okay.
And whether they're quiet, barely hear, if you hear them,
well, okay,
yes.
it's the same thing. It's the same thing with the Randy Orton sing-along chant, okay? We have to be able to hear it on live. Otherwise, it didn't happen. Like, I don't care if you got a little, like, Twitter video or something. Like, it needs to be on the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. You'll hear that. The whole world heard that. You could hear that from Berlin to freaking Chicago.
I guess.
They're saying, yeah.
Couldn't hear it in Seattle.
Talk about digging, dude. You were digging.
That's a bold prediction, Ty. I mean, I know they're in Chicago, but I don't. Yeah, that's got balls. I think you're losing that.
No, bold my balls. He's gonna get it right, but I mean, like,
oh, no, I don't think so. I don't think he's getting it.
And Jack Perry are having matches, so I'm just like, one of those. Yeah. One of those. They're gonna freaking troll him a little, or part of the crowd will, I think.
Anyways, Joey, who do you got going in this?
My wild card is that Can I be a smart? Can I be a smart ass about it?
You can try. It doesn't mean
My
you're gonna
wild
work.
card is that. My wild card is that Daniel Bryan and Jack Perry is both gonna come to the ring with titles.
Yeah, no, that ain't happening, fam.
No. Okay. The lights will be on during the lights out match.
That's not how it works. Come on,
I'm gonna
you're
get
supposed
real,
to
I'll
be
get
setting
real.
a good example for Austin. He's the baby
I'll
of the
get
podcast
real.
now. Be a good big brother.
Oh, dude, he's already thought, what the hell did I get myself into? I think, okay, I think this is a fair one. I
Okay.
think Daniel Bryan is going to make Perry submit.
That's. Okay, so this is a kind of a gray area because we have done this before, but I kind of
Have we?
questioned it when we did it before. We did it once, where we said somebody would be submitted. Do we count that as a match outcome though?
Yeah,
Because like,
I just remember
because like we've
I just remember a
allowed
couple
this
times-
in the past.
Well, I don't. Well, I just remember bringing that up in or one of those in my predictions, and it just getting shut down because you're like, oh, that's also a match outcome. So, I don't remember it.
I mean, we don't have to do it. I just thought,
I mean, if you've got another
But,
one in the
I mean, I
tank,
can
go
change
for it.
it.
Because, yeah, I mean, if you got another one in the tank, go for it. Because, like, I felt like it was a gray area before, so I think it'd just be best not to do that.
okay.
Because otherwise, then technically you could just say somebody could win by pinfall, and then that's astronomically more likely.
Pinfall.
Okay. I will. Okay. So, I think this is fair to say. We talked about it earlier, and I'm gonna go with it. Camille is banned from ringside. I feel like she's gonna show up.
Okay.
She'll show up. And I'll be fair about it. Between Bell and Bell, between beginning Bell and ending Bell, she will somehow show up and get involved in this match between Bell to Bell. Not after the match, not before the match and get sent to the back, but I'll
So
say from
during
Bell to
the
Bell,
match.
she will be. And yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, that's totally fair.
That's a good question.
Austin.
Man, this is a tough one for me. Because to be honest, I don't really know that I could give an educated prediction or answer to this due to not being as up to speed on everything AEW at the moment. I think I would need to put a little bit more time into seeing all the ins and outs.
So this is where I would tell you, as somebody who is kind of getting back into it and kind of experiencing AEW with fresh eyes, I would say lean on your pro wrestling tropes. So the things like the hokey bullshit that happens at wrestling pay-per-views, like we've all leaned on that kind of stuff before. So if you're not sure about something specific to a wrestler, think about like what does the crowd do? Think about how production does things and what.
You could say,
so.
At the All Out announce table will be broken, or someone will bleed.
That's actually not a bad one.
Or
Bleed.
yeah.
Someone will.
Somebody
bleed
goes
during
through the announce table. I mean, that's
first
pretty damn good.
Someone.
Or what we've done before, an AEW talent will return, or a new wrestler will debut, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Rick,
I got you. I'm going to fire from the hip, and I'm going to say we're going to see a debut.
You want?
Ooh,
Okay.
that's a good
So, we've seen a new AEW debut. Okay.
I think
off topic, I am curious how long we got until Edge returns. And yes, I called him Edge.
he too. He is Edge.
So we have seen him walking around. As far as I know, he has not been using a boot anymore. So, I
Right.
mean, it's all about how the bone calcifies and everything. I would say probably within the next 3 months. I think we see him before the end of the year. That even might be a good one for like World's End or something.
I know
My thing. Go ahead.
I just know my wild card is It's wild, but I think it'll happen.
It is
That's all I
wild.
want to say.
That's the point of a wild card. It's supposed to be wow.
It is. So
Is it now? Is it? I wouldn't say WWE wise because I don't think Edge did too much crazy stuff there. But is it just
Edge did
me
all the
or
crazy
ever-
stuff in WWE.
No, I'm talking about like since he came back with it from his neck injury and had a full run. I don't really think he did too much crazy stuff in WWE.
No.
But is it just me or is Edge really taking? Has he really taken a lot of risk in matches since coming back? I mean, you gotta be careful with Edge.
That's
and I feel
part
like
of the
this is one of the
reason.
situations where Tony.
That's part of the reason he went to AEW, though, is because he said he had more that he wanted to do, and WWE wasn't letting him. They were protecting him. Like it's like the way he described it with Chris Van Vliet is like WWE wanted to wrap him in bubble wrap, whereas he just wants to go out there and perform the way he wants to. So,
Well, I remember
makes
hearing him
sense.
say like he wanted to do more dates, and WWE was like, "Well, we want to make your matches and stuff special, and if
Right.
you're wrestling on Raw and SmackDown and pay-per-views every month, it ain't gonna be as fun." And I get that, but jumping off of cages and injuring himself when he's already got that bad neck. I mean, we already know that AEW is the land of, hey, go out there and break your body. We've seen Darby Allin do it, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again, and I don't mean to be negative about it, but like I feel like someone's gonna die in an AEW ring one day just because it's gonna get really bizarre. One day someone's gonna do a stunt or something, they either die or get paralyzed, and that's how they're gonna have to learn their lesson. But I don't want to see Edge's career or his neck break for AEW to be like, yeah, maybe we should tone it down, because you gotta be a little fragile with Edge. And I know he would say, no, you don't know what you're talking about. You have a broken neck. If you hurt it, you could be paralyzed or worse, It's just Edge has got to be a little safe with his career, and I feel like he's taking a lot of risk in AEW.
he is. But I mean,
Which is
that's,
good for him. He
that's
can do
his
it if he
jam.
wants.
I mean, yeah, it's his life. He's his body. He can do what he wants with it. But
I mean, it's his
getting
party.
back
He
to
can drive if he wants to.
getting back to our scheduled programming, so to speak. So just to recap the wild cards, we have Ty going for
From
CM
viewers
Punk
like you,
chance.
thank you.
Yeah, sponsored by viewers like you.
I feel like this is fucking PBS all over again.
So we got Ty going for the CM Punk chance in Chicago. Joey's going with Camille. Will show up in the Monet match. And Austin says a new AEW talent will debut. So
Off topic, I'm glad you said her name first because I didn't know how to pronounce it, and I was gonna say
it's
Camille or something. Like,
yeah, it's
when
Camille.
you said her name, I was like, okay, that's how you say it.
Yeah, it's
So
Camille
total
Brick.
idiot till now.
It's Camille Brickhouse is her like full name in wrestling, but AEW really just calls her by Camille. But anyways, so that gets our predictions out of the way. Again, there will be more predictions added to the full card and the graphic, but this is what we have to work with from AEW right now. Moving on